We really are living in a world that is so sick and so godless now. I understand the anger and the churches have failed in so many ways, but really they're failing completely now, not stepping up to stop or at least speak out against some of these things that are happening. You know, I just heard a story about, I believe it's in Canada. They've legalized euthanasia. And of course, it started out, oh, well, someone who is suffering and, a terminal illness, they're just going to be able to end their pain on their terms. I understand that. I don't have much of a problem. I'm not like some Christians with this. If you are going through something where, let's say you have dementia and you are suffering with cancer, and the only thing you wake up to every few minutes when your mind resets is just awful suffering over and over and over again, and your mind is no longer able to grasp the meaning behind any of it, to hold on to hope because you don't know enough your mind is broken. I understand that. But this story is of a 24-year-old girl who basically said she was bored with life. So she's bored with life. She gave it a couple more months to make sure that she couldn't find anything that would really make her want to live. At 24, I mean, wow. I think of how stupid I was, really, until, I'm still stupid, but I think of how stupid I was at the age of 24. Why? I get it, because if we speak up about things like this, then we are attacked. We speak up about anything, we take a stance on anything, and I'm never going to try to get political or anything in these channels. I'm just telling you to start thinking about the value of life. Life is the most precious thing because we have that meaning and we have that hope already inside of us. That wisdom is in us. I know that because God showed me. And for years I was suffering, and when I was 19, or around that age, it was sometime around that age, I can't remember the exact age. It was a time when God had to save me. I was just so depressed, and I don't know if I probably would have been too cowardly to try to end it, but it was as close as I probably ever was thinking that night, of just, it'd be so much easier if this just all was over. Because I always felt like an alien trying to pretend at being a human. This is what most people who have these spiritual tendencies and these spiritual gifts, they often feel like that. And a lot of other people too. They feel like there's a higher meaning, but they can't grasp it. So they just keep looking, and then they're like, well, I just give up because obviously nothing's happening because of this. That's exactly how I was. And I'm telling you, to get to that point, you have to drop your ego completely. Because your ego, as long as it's running the show, you're never going to have a profound spiritual experience unless you're just ready and you're to the point where you understand now your ego. You might be letting it run the show. Like I was still letting my ego run the show a little bit before I had my spiritual, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, before God, the Holy Spirit came to me. I really did just let it I'm just like, let it go, whatever. It was like a dog that you tried to train so many times and you couldn't, so you're just like, whatever. I'll just let you pull me around. It's like, excuse me, pollen season. It's like my dog, my lab Akita mix, and the Akita is kind of like that, a little bit like a sled dog, and he just pulled, no matter what I do, and no matter how much I trained him, he just loves to pull me all the time. So I'm the only one who can walk him because I'm the only one strong enough to hold him back. But that's what our ego's like. So I'm like, whatever, just get the hell in the backyard, ego. Let's do what you want to do, because I'm just sitting here wasting my life away because it's meaningless anyway. That's how I felt. There was no meaning, so what would it matter? But there is always hope that God sends to you, even though it might not be profound. For me, first it was the dog. When I had my surgery, and then I went through years of just pain with nothing there. We had our little dogs and cats, and then I finally got our older dog died, and we got 2 puppies, and I was happy. I love animals. They give me purpose in life too. They gave me hope. And then unexpectedly, because we didn't think it would happen, I was able, my wife got pregnant. Not I was able. I guess I was able to get my wife pregnant. Congratulations for me, right? And then we had the most miraculous baby who was never supposed to be here to begin with. And then we had 2 more that we lost, and it just tore especially my wife up, because that was just more on top of it, more just depression. And then we had our second child, our little star baby, Stella. So Madison and Stella are my girls. They meant everything to me. But it also made me even more depressed, because even though that was hope, and I love them more than anything I've ever imagined loving anything in life, I was not going to ever be the type of father that they needed me to be. I was not going to be the man that I wanted to be. So it was just another thing to mark down as well. I love it. I'm not going to end my life, because ending my life, even though that would have ended my pain, would have just destroyed my family and my friends. And I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine. We've had suicide in the family, and it just rips those left behind apart. It rips them apart. It really is the most selfish thing. And it's because we don't put value on life. And when I was going through when I was disabled, I was almost 100% sure, because my ego was telling me, my inner demons were telling me, and society was showing me that my life was worthless, and I was basically just a leech on the system. I was a leech on the world now. So what good was I? What good was I anymore? I couldn't provide for my family like I used to. I couldn't do anything except for just be there sometimes. Sometimes I'd be able to take a little trip somewhere and walk around a little bit, but then I'd be in so much pain I'd have to go and lay down in the hotel room or wherever we were. What kind of life is that, and what kind of meaning does that have? To me, it was nothing. And if I would have known that it wouldn't have affected and just torn everybody apart, I probably would have ended it a lot. I probably just would have ended it all. Because why should I go through that existence in that kind of pain. And so it kept getting worse and worse and worse as things just piled up and piled up and piled up. And guess what? I said, God, I know I tell this story a lot, but I'm going to try to make it shorter. But I said, God, I don't understand why you keep piling things onto my shoulders when my back is already broken. Please, please, just show me what I need to do. I surrender. I'm done. And that's when he came to me. That's when that doe came running out of the woods and she walked alongside of me. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little teary-eyed, but she came to me. God, the Holy Spirit came to me. Because God, Jesus said the Holy Spirit is the comforter, the counselor, the helper. And that is who comes to us when we need them the most. The Spirit of God and Jesus incarnate. And everything had meaning again. It was the greatest thing that I never knew could happen. It really was. I never understood that it could be like that. That even though I was this leech on society, that I was worthless, I was not a good parent, I was not a good husband or brother or friend, son, because I was just bringing everybody down. But now I see. And he showed me the meaning for every single bit of my suffering. And that's exactly what I needed. He knew what I needed. He knew exactly what I needed. If I hadn't had that, yeah, I would have not ended my life. But I wouldn't have really had much of a life anyway, just living like I was. It was meaningless. It really was. And that suffering he showed me, every single second of it, was so that I could know what people like maybe you, or the people that maybe you know, are going through. Stuck in your hell, stuck in your meaningless existence, what you think. It means nothing. Oh, you're bored in life. Oh, that is so far from the truth. And I had to go through that so I could walk into your hell with you, find you in the pitch black darkness, and offer you a hand. I've said it before, I'm kind of like the man with the lantern. I don't still think I'm anything special, because anything special with me comes straight from God. But I'm the man with the lantern with a friendly smile and a hand to help you up. That was the first time for tears during this, but I just don't think you understand how powerful it is. And I've told my story, and I actually have video from the day of when the Holy Spirit came to me through the white-tailed doe. Once I figure out how to edit and do all that fun stuff, I'm going to make a much better video, go back to where it happened, and just try to show you exactly what happened. But it is so powerful. It really is. And please don't give up hope. That 24-year-old girl, she's bored with life, so she's just going to end it. Why do we have such little value? It's because society is sick. Society has always, even from back in the days of Jesus, treated the disabled and the poor as just second-class citizens. That is why Jesus walked along the poor and the needy and the disabled and healed them. And you know what? He's probably not going to come and heal you and get you out of the wheelchair and do a lot of these things that some of those Christian televangelists do. They lay your hands on you and you're healed. It's a spiritual healing. Don't be discouraged by these idiots on TV, by these fake Christians who are just working for darkness instead of the light. It is a spiritual healing, and that is more powerful than any physical or mental healing, because the physical and the mental follow the spiritual. If you're healthy spiritually, you'll become healthy mentally and physically too. And even if not, it won't matter, because God will be showing you exactly what you're here for. And I needed that credibility in my life, knowing how bad it can get, to walk through your hell and help find you. I'm just like a park ranger, going out and finding people in the harshest wilderness. And if I hadn't have been trained for my job, I'd probably be killed by the first grizzly or whatever to come along, or the elements, the extreme heat or the extreme cold. That is exactly what I'm doing, just in a spiritual way. So please hold on to hope. Don't give in to the sickness in society. Don't listen to the people in society. Seek God, your own personal relationship. Seek it, and you, with patience and when you tame your ego and when you're ready, you will find God. God bless you all. I wish you the best. Stay strong, and please, if you ever have any questions or topics for me to hit on, please let me know, because I'm here for you. That is exactly why I'm here. My life without helping you goes back to that meaningless nothing again. No, I shouldn't say that, because God showed me that it's not like that, but He showed me that's how I get fulfillment, and that's how I do it. I'm never probably going to be rich. I'm never probably going to be famous, and I don't want to be. I just want to help you get out of your hell and see finally that there is peace, and there is hope, and there is meaning in it all. God bless you. Talk to you soon.